YouTube is full of marketing courses and videos that talk about SEM, SEO, Facebook ads and whatnot. But at Max, they're only teaching you how to operate an e-commerce store or, more on the consumer side of things, or probably how to sell a course. But B2B SaaS has so many enterprising careers for marketers and no one's talking about it. It's unseen, it's unheard of. So we decided we'll open the doors to it for you. And I'm here to meet VP Marketing at Waymo. Wait, logo ka hai Waymo ka? Hi, Roshan.
What's up, man?
You guys don't have a logo in the office?
I'm going to keep a safe distance from you.
Okay, cool. Waymo is one of the very few, or probably the only Indian startup that is cracking enterprise like it is, and all under the marketing leadership of Roshan Karyappa.
Thanks.
Roshan, want to say hi?
First off, I want to say that this is a more polite intro than the last video that you guys saw.
Roshan, how does it feel to be in the B2B space for 14 years and being in such a boring field?
This is going to be a fun chat, hopefully.
I hope so too.
Yeah. Thanks.
Fuck, dude, what's that vibe?
Dude, you're giving me this cold vibe. It all started with that failed handshake, I'll tell you.
Hey Roshan, what's up?
I thought you were supposed to lean in. No? Awkward hug.
मैं बोलने वाला हूँ, he's doing this.
Who does this? I've been nursing a grudge after that.
लोगो ही नहीं है ऑफिस में.
वहाँ पे है ना, देखो.
अरे बट एक होना चाहिए ना प्रॉपर वाइमो लिखा हुआ.
Dude, we know we're in Waymo.
अच्छा वो नीचे एंट्रेंस पे है ना. चलो शुरू करें.
चलो.
Someone who's starting their career in business software, that's what we're building this series for. What is the first thing that you keep in mind going into marketing a software?
For someone starting out in B2B SaaS today, I mean, I would say figure the evolution, right? I mean, how things have come to be. I think it's very interesting because SaaS has a 20 plus year history, starting with the likes of Salesforce, Zoho, and then Slack and Notion and the likes, right? In a nutshell, I would say start with learning everything that has come before over the last 15-20 years, just so you have perspective on how things are built and sold in this domain.
Dude, either way, I think whoever's watching it is in the internet software industry. I think we can dive into what a new age founder, young founder should be doing, or a young,
Okay. I get it. Fine, thanks. Let's talk about going from an idea to a product to a company in a nutshell. So we have to begin with this because irrespective of the fact that you're a marketer or a product person or whatever, if you are among the 5 people or 10 people in a room when you're starting out a company, you will have to make or assist all of the decisions involved in these things. Going from idea to product to company, one of the things that's happened over the last 10 years especially is that entrepreneurs have become super mature. So 10, 15 years back, classic entrepreneur would be someone who picked a problem to solve, found a solution, started building a product. And if you look at now, right, we've almost flipped that funnel and see a good market can accelerate an average product, right, can make it 10x better. A bad market will just kill you with all of the frustrations you have to face, right? When you're doing the idea to product to company journey, I think the first important thing is to ask yourself about the market. Is this a significant market? Right? Is this a market that pays for innovation? Is this a market that you truly understand? When I mean you, I mean the founder and the marketer as well. I've seen marketers, for instance, join companies where they're not really passionate about the market. Following that, I think you need to ask yourself the question, is this a market that you want to spend 5, 10 years of your life in? Again, not to sound academic.
You've done enough of that already.
Yeah, not to sound all pedantic and academic and all of that.
That doesn't absolve you of what you've already done.
Gosh.
अच्छा एक काम करते हैं, Roshan. Can we talk about how to pick the market?
How to pick the market?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So if you listen carefully over the last 2 minutes, I was actually setting it up for that.
वो मैं समझ गया. That I understand. I'm just like, how to pick a market? Like, should I go on? What do I do on Google?
I'm going to give you a soundbite.
Huh?
You can't pick the market picks you. No, there should be I'll wait, hang on. I mean this in all seriousness. Start with a market that you understand. But if you are a fresher, if you're just getting into it, then do what I said earlier, which is that try to relate to the market or try to pick a market that you relate to.
Wait, I think your current episode relates to two people. Like if you're talking about picking the market, then there's a job hunter who's looking to start his career in SaaS. And second is there's an early stage founder who has the liberty to pivot.
Okay,
wheresoever.
I'll address both of these. First, I'll address the founder, which is that, okay, now I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to figure like how to go from 0 to 1. So that is one persona. And the second persona is
He
someone
wants his
who
career
is
from
looking
0
at
to 1.
50 job listings and figuring like, you know, if all things equal, ceteris paribus, what should I pick? Or which product or which market should I pick? So I'll start with the latter one, which is a simpler one. You pick a problem statement. You don't pick a product or a company. See what that company is solving for, what they're trying to do, and how much it matters to that particular customer, right? The customers that they are solving for. And if you relate to it in some sense, if it sounds like a challenging thing, if it sounds interesting, I think then you know that's one up, right? I'm not saying you lead with this, but I think that's probably one of the things that you should probably look at. As a founder, if you're doing the 0 to 1, I think you want to pick problems that you are passionate about, right? And assuming all of these things check out. And if you're comparing 3 or 4 markets, then I would say you pick the market that pays you the most. I'm not personally too keen on, you know, bottom line solutions unless like you're saving orders of magnitude of cost.
Wait, bottom line solution saving you orders of magnitude of cost. क्या equation है ये?
It's like I'm talking to anyway. See, when I say bottom line, I mean like there are solutions that help you save cost. So any product or any solution does 2 or 3 things, right? It can help you make more money, it can reduce your cost, or it can give you convenience. Convenience probably the worst, probably leave that out, right? People do pay for convenience, but it's a heck of a challenge to get them to pay for that convenience. Now, with respect to cost, again, I mean, if I'm saving you 100 rupees, right, you will pay me a portion of that 100 rupees. My ceiling is 100 rupees. I can't go beyond that. But let's say if I'm going to help you make 20%, 30% more than, you know, what you are currently making, right, there's no ceiling to that. I personally like to work with, you know, top line solutions, products that impact top line, essentially. Help you do more, sell more. Those are actually meaningful solutions for me.
So for the job seeker who has a job board open in front of him, what you were telling him is basically scan up the landing pages of the companies, figure out what their leadership looks like, figure out what their vision looks like, figure out how challenging it is.
Like, let's be real here, right? If you are sufficiently senior, you know, 10, 15 years experienced, and you're looking at your next gig, by all means, I think this has to be your first consideration. Right? Is it a product or a market you're passionate about? Because otherwise, it's going to be hell for you. As a fresher, this could be your nth consideration, right? Let's say, I mean, as I mentioned, all things check out, good pay, good team, good product, everything. All of those things check out. And then, I mean, you have 3 options. Then by all means, you should pick the one that you relate with the most.
And as an early founder, what you're telling me is pick a market that pays well and pick a pain point that's
actually integral.
Right.
See, here again, that's an important thing that you bring up. Not bad. Some utility at least. There are painkillers and there are vitamins. And in general, it is easier to sell a painkiller than a vitamin. If you have a cut, it's easy for me because you're looking for something, right? It's a burning need. You need something right now, otherwise you can't function. Right? I would love to sell those kind of solutions. Rather than, you know, vitamins which are like, hey, you know what, this will probably help you do better.
Nice to have.
Yeah, nice to have. Every product goes from a nice to have to a need to have. Slack, for example, right? Slack was a nice to have way back in, you know, 2012 or 2013. It helps you reduce email, you can exchange large files, all of that stuff. But today it's a need to have. Very difficult to work remotely without a Slack. Right? Can you imagine going back and forth on emails, saying, hey, are you there? I mean, it doesn't happen, right? So yeah.
Cool. So I pick my market based on the market size and I figure out a painkiller, not a vitamin, as much as I can. It's
as
not,
much as you can.
Yeah, it's not always like as binary. Okay. Are there any tools, are there any like repositories where do I run my hands when I'm doing all this?
You can go to Owler, for example. Owler.com is good.
OWLER, first actionable
traction
thing in this episode. Okay.
Wow.
Second, traction.
Thanks. This
cool,
is,
cool. Now you're on a roll.
Productive use of my time. Look at Crunchbase, Owler, Traction.
Awesome. Finally.
If you want market sizing stuff, I mean, you could look at Statista, for instance. But honestly, just wiki the shit, man. I mean, or you can go to YouTube. YouTube is amazing for search. Nothing new that I'm saying, but yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay, cool. Fantastic.
Dude, I've seen search evolve. I mean, I've seen search evolve over 20 years. So, I mean, my habits have changed and it's a significant thing for me, okay.
Twitter for search. Try Twitter for search. Twitter has really good advanced search, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, you should try sometimes Twitter instead of Google. Yeah. Cool, fantastic. We've picked the market. What do we do now?
ठीक है, तुम आइडिया और मार्केट पिक कर दिया, राइट? नाउ यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ टू